This is Gunma, Japan. I was born here in 1995 in this beautiful place. This is me. My name is Ryoichiro, written as Ryoichiro. I was born with a congenital heart defect. Put simply, I had a hole in my heart. After multiple surgeries, my chest was sewn up for the final time when I was 3. And according to my mother, this is when I truly started to enjoy life. My parents divorced when I was young, so I don't remember my father's face. At that time, my family was my mother, grandmother, grandfather, and my 2 sisters. My mom remarried and had a child. Again, a girl. I'm the only boy in the family of 3 sisters. I never did excel in school and barely passed my high school entrance exam. For a long time, I thought I was a failure because that's what the education system told me. But the world told me differently. I went to Guam with my friends before graduating high school. I still clearly remember the feeling of excitement, fear, and wonder when departing from the airport for the first time. Through travel, the challenges I experienced became a lesson for understanding the world. And now I treasure the memories. My first workplace was a metal foundry. The factory is open 24 hours a day. It was inhumane. But after 3 years, the long hours paid off and finally visited Hawaii. I wanted to make the most of my time there, so I went to cliff jumping in Waimea Bay and skydiving above the volcanoes. It was heaven on earth and furthered my passion for seeing the rest of the world. After 1 month, I went back to Japan and was greeted by an event that sent me into a major depression. My best friend passed away. From childhood to the metal foundry, he'd always been by my side. And his death was like losing a family member. When he suddenly died, I was left questioning what our purpose on this earth is. After a long time lost in melancholy thought, I realized our time on this earth is short. That we should spend each moment pursuing the things that leave us happy and fulfilled. We are the writers of our own story. I had always wanted to live abroad and decided that's the time to do so. What's now? Without a second thought, I bothered to get to Australia. It was a leap of faith. I found this impulsive act both exhilarating and daunting. Ultimately, I felt in control of my life. I finally took the first step toward my dream. Through my travels, I met a lot of people living their own dream and was inspired by their ability to document their experiences on Instagram. My life was going through many changes, one of which was the end of my first long-term relationship. We both realized that individual growth would be hard while trying to maintain a long-term relationship. So we vowed to still be friends and positive influences on each other's lives. I had a massive journey ahead of me with a plethora of obstacles, and I left Japan for Australia. The first few months were extremely difficult, largely because I could not speak English. However, the best way to learn is to practice, and while living at a hostel in Sydney, I met 2 backpackers. Although I barely understood them at first, we kept hanging out and sharing experiences. It was through their friendship and support that I was able to begin to understand English, which enriched all other aspects of living abroad. I was determined to continue to learn and used some saving to attend a language school on Gold Coast. I hardly understood anything for the first few weeks, but every little word learned filled me with pride and useful knowledge. I kept practicing with classmates and began to make some amazing friends. Although we were all from different backgrounds, we all shared a love for travel and adventure. And so we organized a group trip to Bali. If you would have told me a few months ago that I would make new friends by speaking a foreign language and travel with them, I wouldn't have believed you. I left the city after some time and traveled to the Australian countryside to work on farm. I had never worked on a farm before. I met many foreigners who came from all over the world, witnessing their travels with the farm world. It was hard but gratifying, and I found a different kind of fun from my city life. It's funny, by meeting so many people and seeing so many cultures, I realized I found comfort in Japan. I never thought about Japanese society when I lived there, but looked forward to experiencing it again when I was abroad. And so, I visited back home in October. After living abroad, coming home was like a reverse culture shock. My time in Japan was short-lived, and after 3 weeks, I traveled to Tasmania. The nature of Tasmania is ancient, and I felt like my soul connected with the world as camped in those ancient forests. In these woods, I tuned inward and re-evaluated the belief I held. My entire life, I had it to meet, but living in harmony with nature made me realize that all life should be given respect, and we have to realize that what we eat gives life to us as well. If we do eat meat, we should be wholeheartedly grateful for its sustenance. I had another profound revelation along these lines, and that was my life, while being only my own, was a product of countless people helping me. Whether it is words of advice, emotional support, or just friendly smile, my life is the way it is because of all of you. I want to thank you all very much. It is my dream to show these wonderful attributes of human existence by respecting, helping, supporting, and cooperating with each other. These were the means through which I truly started to love life. We can change this world if we work together and respect one another. Our world is already changing, but it is up to us to make sure it is on the right track. There will be many more obstacles to overcome in my life, but each will provide a valuable lesson and help me grow as a person. I never expected my life to look like this a year ago. And again, want to thank everyone who has been a part of this change. That's why I can say this with conviction. We can do anything, so let's come together and live our best lives.
1秒会うとしても180年かかるわけよ、それなのに俺たちどうもう出会って5分があって経ってるよ。奇跡乾杯乾杯よくわかんないバカバカバカやばいえお
Again, off.
No way.
Too hard, motherfucker.
ポーズはちょっとみんなちょっと離れてポーズもとりあえず撮ってくどういうポーズはいせーの飛ぶポーズ飛ぶポーズだったの
じゃあもう俺真ん中にちょっと入ってる。
ちょっとうるさくね